I'm ChosenArchitect, and this is All the Mods 10. Now, a few episodes ago, I ended up setting up industrial foregoing, and we've got all of the processes set up. But there's an add-on mod that is called Industrial Foregoing Souls, and this add-on mod has got to be one of the most powerful mods in the entire mod pack. So powerful, in fact, that I have been waiting just a little bit longer than normal to get into the mod. And believe it or not, there's an add-on for the add-on that makes the add-on even more powerful. And that add-on is going to allow Industrial Foregoing Souls to be transferred through our existing Applied Energistics system. I know, you heard me right. Yes, we will now be able to wirelessly send our souls to be able to tick accelerate any machine that is allowed to be tick accelerated with it. So what exactly is Industrial Foregoing Souls? Well, imagine the time wand here that we've been using to accelerate our machines, but imagine it existing permanently, like, and non-stop working. Now, of course, at a reduced rate, but nonetheless, it still should work. Now, to get this set up, we do need a few things from Industrial Foregoings. We need a laser drill. I do recommend a few of them. I think what I'm going to end up doing is just making a total of 12. So let's do 12 minus 1 since we already have one existing in there. And so those are going to get crafted up. But this is where we actually need a soul laser base, and this is a little bit more expensive, requiring a Skulk Shrieker and, you know, of course, which is surprising, only an advanced machine frame. Now, this laser base is essentially going to be draining the life from a warden. And this is kind of an interesting concept compared to how all of the other stuff works. For example, the Wither in Industrial Foregoing, it doesn't actually drain its life or anything like that. Well, with this, it does slowly consume the life of the warden. So we've got to come up with an idea to be able to heal it. And there's a bunch of different ways, including using R's, which I believe I did in all the mods 9. But this go around, it's going to be a little bit different. So we can actually use 2 stasis chambers for right now. And we can use these 2 stasis chambers to technically heal the warden. Now, this isn't going to be the best way, and honestly, if we decide to upgrade this in the future, I don't even think this is going to be able to keep up. But we can, for right now, at least test this, and let's get some gates, right? We're going to need a couple of gates to make sure this has some power. So we'll have 1 stasis chamber right here, and the stasis chambers actually heal the mobs, surprisingly, that they are technically stasising. So by putting this right here, we should be able to capture the warden directly on top of the stasis chamber, much like I'm kind of frozen in place. Now this is going to need to be 3 blocks up. So we have 1 block, there's 2, 3, and just like our other setups, the soul laser base, probably best to be the 3rd block up, just like that. And then attached to the side, what I want to do is I want to have my laser drills placed in, of course, facing the right way. That's where a wrench actually comes into play, and we can use a wrench on top, and we should be able to rotate this. There we go, all the way around. And I've got to get this facing in all directions. On the back side here, I'm going to go ahead and power them and kind of keep this nice and hidden. So now, to have a little bit of fun, we need to capture a warden. There we go. And we can put this directly inside of the mob imprisonment tool from Industrial Foregoing. And you know what? Why not? Just in case this one dies by chance, I'll go ahead and capture another one. So now here's what should happen. Because these are all powered and the stasis chamber is here, as soon as I place this in, it should start taking damage and just sort of stay there and just kind of relax like that. Now, thankfully, the darkness and all that stuff does kind of go away, which is really, really nice, unlike the Wither, which does cause a little bit of a problem. But I think right here, this is technically defined where we're at. If I remember correctly, I'm just going to set a new anchor, actually. Let's go ahead and set this, and we'll do Warden. And the Warden heartbeat for sure definitely needs to stop. Warden ambient, Warden sniff, and Warden hurt. We probably don't want to hear any of those noises. But thankfully, we shouldn't have to worry about that too much. Now, as of right now, we don't have the laser in here, so it's not actually going to be draining the warden, thankfully. But as soon as I put the lens in, it's going to actually start taking damage. And this is where we have to kind of keep an eye out on its health. You might be wondering, what color lens do I even use for this? And this is where you have every right to be confused, because it doesn't actually show up in JEI. I do not believe it doesn't show you what color it needs to be, but on the CurseForge page, there is a image that does have the actual laser lens that you need for this in there. So the blue one is actually the one that we're going to be using. And like I said, as soon as I put this in here, things are going to start happening. So you see this progress bar go up, and you notice the soul surge and the souls have gone up. And we don't hear the noises, but it is taking damage. I do have the noises removed, but notice it is losing health, but it is thankfully regaining that health thanks to this right here. Thanks to those beautiful stasis chambers that are on top of each other. And by the way, the image here is so crazy looking, with the warden essentially having its arms placed behind its back and its head looking straight up, and the laser base basically pulling the souls straight out of its chest with its rib cage open. Okay, just to give it a little bit more noise, I did turn up the hurt just a little bit so we can hear it actually working. I don't think the hurt sound is too bad. But this thing will really start to take a lot of damage, and more damage than these can heal if, for example, this right here is not actually upgraded. Also, I don't know if these can be upgraded or not. I should probably check. Okay, it does appear like the base upgrades do work in here, and it is able to definitely keep it healed up. Now, believe it or not, we have, and I keep saying believe it or not, but we do actually have upgrades that go even further than our current base upgrades. But this might be the first thing that we could potentially use our souls on. So now, how do we actually move the souls around? Well, typically you would use a soul pipe. This would allow you to pump it around, and then the actual accelerator would be the soul surge. And I do have quite a bit of echo shards to allow for us to craft plenty of these, but this is how it would get moved around, right? And then you would place your soul surge on the thing that you want to tick accelerate, and you would do it just like this, right? And so now the dissolution chamber should technically go a bit faster than normal. But like I said, we can move this now with Applied Energistics thanks to Buzz's add-on mod for his add-on mod. So how exactly would we go about doing this? Well, what we actually have to do is use a storage bus attached to the soul laser base. And then we just run our cables directly up. And what this is going to do is it's going to let the Applied Energistics system read the souls that are in here, because this isn't exactly a fluid or anything like that, right? So now that we have that set, what we can then do is use a ME interface. So if I place an interface up here, I can set the soul value by placing this in, apparently. So we're supposed to be able to right click. There we go. We have to right click in here, and you'll see the warden souls inside of this. And so then I can use my pipe connected to the interface, and it will give off the same effect. Supposedly, like, this is how this is all supposed to work. Like, this is honestly kind of cool. And so this right here should be sharing the warden souls that are inside and should be accelerating this. Yeah, you can see the particle effects. Now I'm trying to think of a good way to kind of show this off. I mean, a furnace is a really good way to represent how fast this can actually accelerate. But I think let's go ahead and make, I don't know, another machine frame here. So let's request a machine frame, and we'll be able to get an idea of how fast this is working at its base speed. So that's pretty straightforward. We see right here, it does seem like it's going at a pretty decent pace. But what does this look like now when we put a soul surge on it? And this is just one, by the way, so just one soul surge. There we go. And we'll take a look. That was significantly faster, and that's just with one on here. So now you might be starting to see the immense power of this mod. And so now that I have this up and running, we can actually start to build up some of the even higher tier add-ons to make this even faster, because imagine this speed, but also imagine it now with even higher tier upgrades that go all the way up to 400% speed. I will have to tell you though, whenever you are making these upgrades, notice by the way that it is pulling from JEI. Well, believe it or not, this is going to cause some problems for you. So I do recommend you craft these like you see right here. And what you're going to have to do is, in place of these, take the one that was actually crafted and then place it in. So clear it out and then place in the one that you just crafted. And whenever you build this pattern now, it will actually work. And you're also going to have to modify this after you do your initial craft, because the one that you craft from here, this all sounds kind of ridiculous, but the one that you do craft from here, you are going to have to also update the outgoing. So just for example, I'm going to go ahead and get this one crafted up. It looks like it needs a netherite gear. That's actually something I didn't have crafted, but there we go. So now I can go ahead and craft this, and it should not actually complete the craft. Oh, did it actually complete the craft? Maybe they have updated this mod actually. since the last time I've used it, because last time that didn't actually recognize when it had finished that craft. It looks like it worked just fine. You know what? Maybe disregard on this one. I'm actually kind of excited if this has been fixed. This has been a problem that has existed since 120.1. Honestly, I want to kind of check this as well. Like, is this just going to work without me needing to apply anything? Let's try. Let's see. This is the upgraded version. And yeah, it just works now. Oh, great. I wonder if that was an ATM fix or if that was a actual mod fix. Then that just makes this incredibly easy to craft all of the upgrades for. So now I can only imagine how fast this is actually going to be with all of these speed upgrades in the dissolution chamber. This is honestly going to be the fastest dissolution chamber I have ever used. So let's just go ahead and craft the highest tier machine frame now. Do I even have the pattern for that? I don't think I do. So let's go ahead. And the advanced, we will make ourselves a supreme frame. Okay. So let's build the pattern for this. Machine frame ready to go. This has to go through all 3 different machine types. But to make one of them, how quick is this? It's done. That was instant. Okay, that was real fast. Now I think it was because I had all of them in stock, but for example, let's go ahead and now just craft the highest tier upgrade, which has to go through several crafting iterations to do that. That's very, like, it has to craft all, it's instant. That's okay. I wonder how, like, actually fast this is going to be with its healing if we have these upgrades in here. Like, I don't think it'll ever die. And that means if we need more souls for more more of this down the road, we can apply upgrades actually in our laser drills, and that's going to speed this up even further, meaning we can use more soul surges, because I'm almost positive that the more of them we use, the faster that percentage of our soul surge is actually going to deplete. Yeah, I mean, I am upgrading these fully and it does seem like it is damaging them, but it's able to keep up. Like, it is totally keeping up with everything. Oh yeah, we totally got this. This is running the base tier upgrades, and there we go. Okay, so now we have access to soul surging and the ability to use it throughout our base. Oh boy. All for the small price of torturing a warden. It's payback, you know? Payback from all the times you've killed me. Now to make this look good. So I'm just gonna fill this on all sides like so. And I'm essentially covering the entire block on all sides of this AE cable to make it look like it's a cable that's just passing through a solid block. I love cable covers with applied. It just, honestly, they're super, super nice for this. And there we go. And then we can just run this cable directly through like that, and then cover it all up, and then turn the sound down. And then you may be wondering now, where would I want to use this first? Honestly, the most practical place would be right here on this loot fabricator. Like, the loot fabricator is kind of limited in its base speed, so by upgrading this with a soul surge, I mean, this is going to make things a lot easier. And this means I should be able to place like an interface right here, and then inside of this, I will put the soul, much like that, and then we can run the cables down into this, and now we are dramatically accelerating this. Like, it's so much quicker now, which means it can support more of the simulation chambers being placed into it. Now, just a quick test for science purposes, because last time I did this in All the Mods 9, it ended up getting removed almost immediately. But I do want to test this out. Like, I can go ahead and try to power these items right here. So I just need to wirelessly move my network over, grab a cable, for example here. Otherwise, I mean, I would just be extending the pipes, because those pipes, like, you could just extend them for as long as you want that pipe to be. But thankfully, because of the Energistics add-on, we are able to technically just move this around. So let's try an interface real quick. Let's do an interface directly on top of here, and we will do the soul connections. So I am going to attach a couple of those. Let's go ahead and just make a few of them for right now. They're super, super quick to make. And then we will set the value by right-clicking. I want to test it out on this hive, and then I also want to test it out on these. And so let's just run this down like so. And is this done? Like, it will probably speed this up, which it is doing, but speeding up the hives, yeah, it does appear like otherwise the hive would be going faster. I do believe the hive is blacklisted inside of the script. And I am sorry, this is definitely a remnant from All the Mods 9. But you know what? The fact that the centrifuge can be accelerated is honestly huge in itself, because otherwise you would need a ton of centrifuges for this to work. So you know what? This is going to work out perfectly. And I will just extend this, and I'm just going to have all of these 3 accelerated just like so. That is going to mean fewer centrifuges that can do, like, we just don't need as many. It's just going to be so much nicer here. Now, throughout this series, I do plan on using this in a ton of different ways. I almost wonder, can we accelerate our, like, crops to grow even faster? Now, I was wondering if there was just some fast way to, for example, accelerate this, and I'm using some of the Just Dire things, like Eclipse Alloy Soil, and which is automatically harvesting into here. But this was just a test on normal or with dire soil. We can try this, of course, with some red fertilizer, which won't auto harvest, by the way. So that's just something I was testing with this one. But if we try this with something else, I don't know, let's go ahead and use like a Premium Hoe real quick. We'll turn it into regular farmland, put some red fertilizer on here, and then try this. Is that going to accelerate it any faster? Honestly, I mean, it did grow almost instantly. That grew basically instantly. Okay, but there is definitely a slight delay. Now, something else I bet it could speed up is the industrial foregoing stonework factory. Now, this is where things could get interesting, because I believe the stonework factory here has the ability to make tons of material, including netherrack, and compress it all the way up to tier 4, it looks like. Can also do obsidian, which is also one of the, or several of the materials that we're going to need to complete the All the Mods star. Yes, netherrack and obsidian both being required. Oh, and also to mention, which I definitely should get accelerating, nether stars are going to be a huge thing that we are going to use this on. And I have a feeling it's going to be one of the fastest methods, which I did use in All the Mods 10 to generate the tremendous amount of nether stars we are going to need. Yeah, it's basically speeding this up right here. So yeah, with just 2 of these on here, this is making this produce one almost every few seconds, every second or so. Yeah, that's fast, but we're gonna need way more of those in the future. Still though, for right now, I kind of want to experiment with the stonework factory for like making netherrack, for example. I almost wonder if I could do all of this with just one interface essentially attached to the top. Because we do need to provide lava, and we now have unlimited lava supplies, and we also have unlimited water supplies, which makes this absolutely doable. We just need to tell this to pull water in from the top. So that's going to pull the water in. This is going to pull the lava in, and then we get a gate on here to give it some power. Actually, no, we can use in, let's see, we need an induction card. There's just so many things to remember. But there we go. Induction card. Perfect. And that will send power directly from here. Perfect. Okay, we don't want it smelting, so let's go ahead and for right now, we'll have this just crafting, right? That's what we want it to do. We want it to craft. There's the crafters. And we want it to craft up as much as it possibly can. So it's going to be making this and crafting up. This is going to be sending out those fluids, for example, going into here. And we haven't even made the acceleration carts. So industrial foregoings, acceleration. Let's put the max tier in here. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to get out of hand very quickly. So long as the lava can keep up. But I'm assuming with accelerating the machine, it's only going to pull the ingredients in faster, right? It's not pulling in fast enough right now, but if we soul this like so and put this accelerator on here, is that going to pull faster? Ooh, it might be faster just to simply pipe to it. I mean, something like this, like I have a fluid pipe that is able to pull the fluids out and send it in. Oh yeah, that is, that's pretty quick. Yeah, that's producing already at 3 times compressed right there. And the same thing can definitely be done with obsidian as well. And honestly, we're going to need as much of this as possible, considering 6 times compressed is what we're going to need for this. So of course I had to do the same thing for the obsidian. and get that started producing. And before you know it, we're going to have more than enough of this laying around. By the way, we can actually have the main output, which is the 4th inventory, just simply push the product right into our Applied Energistics system. I mean, since we're kind of testing things, I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? Like, surely this isn't possible, is it? I mean, honestly, at this point, I guarantee it probably is, and it's probably going to work just fine. Oh no. Okay, so let's see. If I attach this here and then I put a soul surge on it. Oh no. Is it going to go even faster? Surely not, right? Honestly, it's really hard for me to tell if this is faster than it was, because it's already so darn fast. I think there's a little bit of an issue. This is getting shut off with the redstone. So you know what? What we can do, we can go ahead and, well, let's grab a lever real quick. But what we could do is reverse the redstone. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, it does, it does accelerate the spawners even faster. I didn't show you this. But pretend you didn't see this. So yeah, with some trapdoors to help prevent them from getting stuck. I think I have emeralds in the bag. Yeah, this'll do the emeralds pretty quick as well. So now I hope this video was accelerating for you guys, and hopefully you ended up learning something new. And I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think would be best to try and accelerate in this pack? Like, I would love to hear from you down in the comments below. Of course, let me know, especially if you've seen either someone else do it or you've done it yourself in your own experimentations. What is the most powerful thing to accelerate? Like I said, I would love to hear from you down in the comments below, and there's going to be plenty more that we are going to be doing in the videos in the future. So be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, so you don't miss a new video just like this one. And well, give this video a huge thumbs up if you wouldn't mind as well. Check out the links down in the description below. I do stream over on Twitch. You can find me there basically throughout the week, roughly 3 days a week, give or take. And also check out the Discord, discord.gg/ChosenArchitect, where you can usually find me hanging out and chilling in the voice channels over on Discord. So with that being said, it's now time to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks is going to go out to Vody Rocks. Thank you so much, by the way, for your amazing support and choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and supporting in one of the best ways possible. Thank you so very much. And guys, I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.